Yo, this is Dorky Diggity Dave, and today we review Avengers Endgame. Is it good? Bruh. Welcome back, guys. We are talking about Avengers Endgame, the culmination to 11 years of storytelling, and we're gonna delve right into it. But before we start, gotta let you know this movie is 181 minutes long. That means it is 3 hours and 1 minute. So you might want to have some kind of a hydration strategy put into place, because most of you are going to have previews in front of your movie. We didn't have any at the screening, and even then I didn't have like any water or anything like an hour or two before the movie started, and then I made sure to go right before the movie started so I wouldn't miss anything. And even by the end of the movie it was a little bit tough. Now it is 3 hours. It doesn't feel like it, especially visually and through the story. It's very, very well told, but your bladder might disagree. So make sure you got that locked away however you're going to do that. With all that being said, what a magnificent, fantastic, awesome movie this is. It's quite the achievement for the superhero film genre. This is the thing to beat. Quite an amazing movie. One thing I did do is I stayed away from all those trailers. I watched the first initial trailer and that was it, nothing else. So I had no idea what was going on, how they were gonna do the things that they were gonna do, and that was absolutely glorious for me. But from what I've heard, if you did watch all the previews and the TV spots and stuff like that, the Russos and the people behind the marketing were very smart about it and really only packed in things that you see, okay, well, I'm not gonna ruin that, but it doesn't show you a lot of the movie. That's what I'm gonna say. That's the spoiler-free aspect of it. Here we go. So here's the thing, right? Whatever you think you know, or whatever you think the movie is going to be about, I can probably guarantee you that it's not. I could be wrong. At least for me, that's how it was. Whatever I kind of had a preconceived notion of what I think might happen in the movie did not happen, and they surprised me on many, many, many levels. And that's one of the indicators that I use to find out just how much I like a particular movie, on top of how much it stays with you at the end, how much you remember, how many things you think about, as well as musical score. Can I still go back and hum that in my head? And of course it's Avengers, bum 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 bum, always in there. That's the best part. Now, if you went back and watched every single movie in the MCU to prepare yourself for this movie, you didn't do it in vain. You are handsomely rewarded for all of that. There's little things all throughout the movie. They just took like they had like this little seasoning, and it was just like, here's all the other MCU movies and references, and they just, I like this. They peppered it, and it's everywhere, and you taste it, and you see it, and you feel it, and you experience it, and you feel rewarded in a very big way just for being a fan. And that is no easy task. You literally see effort in the movie. That's what's all over the movie. There's just effort and love, and it's just like oozing off of the screen, and it just fills up. Like you can feel like you just put your feet in the pool and just like, yo, this feels good. It feels good. Like everything you watch, and especially if you catch the references too, you're like, yeah. And whoever you're seeing the movie with, you can kind of like tap them in the elbow, even if they are someone you don't know. I mean, don't tap someone that you don't know with your elbow. I get that. But if you happen to make the eye contact, you look over, they're gonna look at you and be like, and then you're gonna be like, and then it's just like a thing, right? It's a thing, but it's awesome all the way through. The other thing that I really appreciated here is that everybody's respective musical score is kind of peppered into their scenes. Well, not everybody, but a lot of them, so that you get a feeling of ownership of who's on the screen, especially if you pay attention to that kind of thing from previous movies. Like, you have that feeling, and it brings it on in on another level of nostalgia. But not like a long level of nostalgia, but just a recognition and knowing what you're seeing, it all encompassed, and it feels good. I'm saying that a lot, huh? Feels good. It does feel good. I'm not gonna be ashamed about saying that. It feels good. Now, this is quite an emotional movie. There is a lot of range of emotions that you're gonna be going through while watching this, not only for the nostalgia aspect of it, but just the fact that it's all encompassing and the fact that it's beautiful. Because the whole time you're watching it, you're just like, yo, this is not a failure. This is fantastic. Like, you never feel like they dropped the ball anywhere, actually, at least for me. I think this is a breakthrough in superhero storytelling, not just because it's in this movie itself, but because it wraps up 11 years of storytelling, and it does it well. It's easily the best Avengers movie. I mean, this is the 4th Avengers movie. It's easily the best one, but you can't just say this is the best Marvel movie ever, because this wouldn't be the best Marvel movie ever if it wasn't the sum of all of its parts. And all of the parts have a part to play. And so it's very difficult to be like, is this your favorite one? Is this your favorite one? No, this is just my favorite franchise off of this final culmination. Now, the crew is comfortable. You can tell everybody's been in their parts for a long time, even some of the newer people. And you can tell that the directors, the writers, like everybody is just got their panache, they got their style, and they just know what's going on. At this point, I feel like the Russos are just showing off. Like they're just up there just kind of flexing. They're taking their victory lap with this because it feels like it was effortless. Even though there was effort oozing off of the screen, but it felt like, yeah, they put a lot of work into it, but it was like, we got this, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got this, we got this. And then there's parts in the movie where you feel like you're watching an indie movie, and then it'll switch gears, and all of a sudden you're watching this like super awesome balls to the wall action movie, badass stuff. Like it all just kind of comes together and then it goes back to something indie. So they really know how to switch the tones without taking you away from the overall feel of the movie. And somehow they figured out a way to breathe new life into what you already thought you knew and experienced, and it's glorious. I'm not gonna go too much more into that because I don't wanna go into any spoiler territory. You'll know it when you see what I'm talking about because it's pretty much everywhere and it's amazing. But I really wanna talk about that stuff, so comment once you start seeing that stuff, but don't spoil comments. Don't put spoil comments. Don't put spoil comments, but comment. Like if you do see what I'm talking about, just be like, yo, Dave, I know what you're talking about, but don't put the spoiler stuff down there. Listen, at the end of the day, this is going to be the most rewarding MCU experience you've ever had. It doesn't really matter if you didn't see the other movies because this is still great on its own, but if you really want to enhance the whole thing and really feel what's going on, watching all of the other films, maybe except for Iron Man 3, I don't know. That movie just doesn't seem necessary for anything. If you did watch everything, it will make the movie even more awesome, but they've really done something special here and you owe yourself something to go see it. This really should be seen as the final chapter to one hell of a historic and epic journey. In my particular screening, there were no end credit scenes at all. And you know what? It is strangely appropriate to do so, but I did hear that maybe there might be. I'm not sure, but so far there was none for me. So if you really got to get out there and get to the bathroom when the credits start rolling, go ahead and do it. Lastly, it stays with you. It will keep you thinking. You're still gonna process it. I'm still processing it. I only saw it earlier today, and so I'm still thinking about things, still kind of thinking about plot lines, and if there were some plot holes here and there. If I really wanted to be nitpicky, I could find some, but it really does not outweigh the amazingness that is Avengers Endgame. Well done, Marvel. Well done. Once again, this is Dorky Diggity Dave. You just watched my review, my spoiler-free review for Avengers Endgame. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, go ahead and click subscribe, click like, leave a comment, share it with your friends, share it with your mama. All that stuff helps me out. And remember, stay dorky, and I'll catch y'all on the flip.